this attempt to not be noticed by this hulking, hunched figure, letting out this strange laughter. And every time you go to turn, it's no more than like you keep walking in an opposite direction, and it's almost like you've been following it for whatever reason. You just keep turning direction. You're almost in the same scene over and over and over again.
How well did we roll in this scouting roll?
You've succeeded, yeah.
Like a 6?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But arrival happened.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any
And
avoiding
we all
arrival.
saw that show.
Right, what show?
Nope. Arrival's the one with Amy Adams, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that
The
one. I've
movie.
seen
Yeah,
Annihilation.
right, I was like,
Movie,
what?
not show.
I get Annihilation and Arrival mixed up. I've seen Annihilation, haven't seen Arrival. But this thing in the woods.
You, as you make like this 8th turnaround, like try and break away from this thing, you watch as it picks up that burned body that was starting to morph, and you watch this giant jaw unhinge, and it swallows the entire humanoid into it.
Gross.
And you watch like this crackling black lightning just very quickly like spark it up, and then it keeps pressing on into the woods.
Oh my god.
Following us, or?
It's not following you, but you can't seem to get away from it.
It's horrifying.
Okay.
We're gonna push out to the edge of the wood.
As soon as you speak, can we do another group scout to try and get out?
Like what can we do here?
We're gonna do it. We're gonna
That's
group
what
scout.
we
We're
tell-
scout,
yeah.
man.
Group scout. We're moving forward towards the edge of the woods,
Yeah.
but we are doing it.
But are we moving? That's the thing. I don't
We
think we're
haven't
moving.
stopped
moving.
moving.
Yeah. You're. I've never assumed you've been
SPG.
standing still.
No, I'm saying.
SPG sent us on the right.
I know what
path.
you're saying.
We know where
You're
to
like,
go.
are we actually moving?
Are we actually moving? Or
We don't
is it-
know yet. We're trying to
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
out.
We'll
find out if we do
knowing
things.
where
You're
we're going.
At this point, you feel highly disoriented.
I threw up once.
I hope
Just
not.
saying. No?
I hope not.
Why not?
Because we're making noisy.
Mhm.
And it's easy.
It was a silent.
silent-
Yeah, and I get it.
It
It was
was
a little.
It's baby.
It was all the beer you just drank.
Are we
That's
all
it.
rolling?
That's
Yep.
it.
Roll
God,
for
I
Who's
don't-
leading?
Yeah, you
I
got
don't
this.
have a
It's
You're
me.
leading.
Do you want to lead?
The
Wait,
dish is in the
do
way.
you want to lead it because you are bad at it? The same idea? Because she's the commanding officer?
I have 0 scout.
Yeah, but I'm saying is if you lead it, the negative of you failing doesn't hurt you.
Okay.
I don't want to give her any problems though.
Okay,
I only have
fair.
2 stress right now.
You should lead it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has 0.
He's
The
got a
dish
keen
is-
eye.
The dish is chill.
He's got a good eye.
It's just so chill. Ooh, that's 1-6.
A 4.
A 5 and a 2.
4.
A 5.
Okay, so no
You get
stress.
to take the lower because you don't have any.
A 3. Never mind. A 3.
Oh, then
Nope.
you take 1 stress.
Oops. I was trying. Oh god. I was trying to shoot it. and-
So
That just went from
You have to
the
go
dish
cozy.
taking stress to me taking stress.
So you
You got
start
6.
to reorient yourself, and
Yeah, there's a 6.
like you don't have any stars or sun or moon to like guide yourselves, but you think back to when you felt those like bursts of wind, and you know like the more wind, the closer you are to the outside of the forest. There's less for it to like move.
The way this plays out is the dish unties the bandana around his head and he goes,
Good flavor.
And you start to like move away, and you get a sense that you're going in the right direction, but this hallucination is fucking crazy. You can't. She is always there, like no more than like 15 feet from you.
I don't say anything, but I just look at like the dish. Like I'm like I don't.
I'm just gonna say that's really good casting material right there, Tyler.
Yeah.
Like
So what you didn't see,
Yeah.
was me pointing at my head, being and my eyes rolling back, like it's in my head. That's what I was trying to reference. You're welcome.
Even though you succeeded, because of how long you've been here still, you're all going to take another corruption.
Oh my god.
All right, that's.
we can't resist it.
You can if you want to.
I
But
can.
that's stress if you fail at resistance.
Well, you never fail a
I'm
resist, but you take stress. 6
Alright.
minus whatever you roll in the resolve. attribute.
Okay, I have 3 resolves, so I'm gonna try to not.
Yeah.
Tyler, can I borrow your
I can.
Yeah.
Okay, that was
I'm gonna use a
horrible.
referee.
Would you?
I rolled 2. Is my highest.
So you take 4 stress.
Wow.
Woo!
Can I take the corruption?
You already rolled.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have all 4 stresses filled up.
All 4 stress. Oh, what you had left?
Mm-hmm.
So you trauma out.
But I don't have the trauma point yet.
That's how you get a trauma
Yeah,
point.
that's
Is
how
by
you
getting
get a
it
trauma
full.
point.
I also have full corruption now, so I'm bladed. Because I wasn't gonna stress out.
Down.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Special
can't
K.
carry her. I'm already carrying silver probably now.
I'm carrying a child. I have been this whole time, by the way.
I point to Obsidian.
Oh, wait,
That
hold
is
on.
news you share before the mission, okay?
I'm carrying a child.
Oh my god!
I am with child.
If you have any reliquaries marked in your items, you can reduce the corruption by 1.
Is there anything I can do to not
What is a
pass
mark
out?
of the healing god? Symbol of mercy?
I have not today. From
No.
the doctor.
Tonics?
Is there a way I could
There
protect?
are no tonics. No.
No tonics do anything to prevent?
No.
I
Tonics are
have
more
a
for like
reliquary.
simple
You can
ailments.
borrow my reliquary.
Well, I stressed out.
Yeah, stressed out. Right
Can the
now.
dish be so handsome that he winks at Special K
Oh!
and she suddenly is just a
I'll
little
just take the
unstressed?
corruption.
You already rolled
Already
resistance.
rolled. So we see Special K like stop.
Yeah,
moving.
so you try to like push this thought out of your mind, and the last like you go, you see that visage, and the visage turns to you, and you like look away, and as soon as you look down, out of the mud comes this like crooked smile, and like this pulled, like the mouth unhinges, and you see this like warty boiled hag's face, and you see like 7 eyes all around its head, and then you just pass out.
Can I make a maneuver to just sort of like let her fall against me instead of?
You can just catch her.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no need for that. So you're all still scouting?
Is anyone not carrying someone that could carry Special K? Okay, so you're gonna carry Special K.
But I have full blight now. So I got 8 blight.
Yeah, you have 8.
Does that mean you're gonna eat me?
And then your
It means my corruptions are back down to
resets.
0.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But I'll figure out what condition. Do you tell me what that is? Okay,
You have to pick a condition. You have to circle one of the things underneath there.
You don't get hungry because
I'm not. I'm going with vision.
Okay.
Ooh.
It'll be hard for you to sleep tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you continue to
But it
push
makes
on.
sense if it's-
You probably sneakily scout for maybe another half hour, 45 minutes, and then
Oh, Obsidian Rising isn't carrying anybody too.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay,
assuming.
Yeah.
and you the mist kind of dissipates. You stop seeing her, it, them, you're unsure. And you spend the next hour or so heading towards the edge of the forest, unimpeded. It is a new moon out. It is pitch black outside, even outside of the forest, but your horses are there waiting for you.
Woo!
It's
Thank
probably
God Charlie's still alive.
It's probably like 3 a.m. right now. You're beat. Most of you are passed out. But you completed the mission.
Oh my god. Oh my
Oh.
god. I was only here for a second of that. I don't know.
Yeah, but now you got some trauma, right?
Yeah.
Yikers.
Man.
So do we deliver the boy back?
So you get back to Plainsworth.
In the
and
morning.
you deliver off the boy, and the couple offers up their home for you to, because their home is a little bit further on the outskirts of Plainsworth.
Mhm.
So it's an easy point for you to like stop, drop off, maybe like get a night's rest, then head back to the southern portion of Plainsworth to meet up with the rest of the Legion.
Yeah, when we show up at the door, we have,
Yeah, four people
4 people.
passed out. Yeah,
Hey,
you're all looking
found
haggard.
your kid.
and they like reach over and like pull him from you and hug him, and the mom starts like putting her hand over where the scars are and just hugs her boy tighter, and he finally starts to like come to. As you left the forest, he had been almost like catatonic, comatose for the entire time you were there. And as soon as you broke the line of the forest, He started to like stir in his sleep, and at this point now he's sort of like coming to after maybe like 2, maybe 1.5 hours of horse ride back to the house. Thank you all very much for. I thought she would eat me. She kept talking about she has to get stronger. She has to beat the hag, and I didn't know what that meant. She said I had special blood, and I don't know what that means. And then the parents kind of like give each other a look and start to divulge that the boy has alchemist blood within him. And maybe it's part of the curse of the crafter being turned and working for the Cinder King, but they're glad to have him home. So they give you all cots. There's a barn, like a makeshift barn in the back that most of you stay in. Maybe like 1 or 2 of you can sleep inside the house, but you're all at safety for the time being. You're as safe as roaming hordes of zombies are in this day and age, but you feel confident that you get a safe night's sleep, except for as you try to sleep, and I assume you're next to your sister. At some point, she kind of like turns away from you in her sleep, and you feel her hand leave yours because of such a trying event. You start to like search for her hand in the dark, and then you like hit something wet, and then like you feel around yourself, and you fall into like some sort of like thick viscous liquid, and you're struggling, and you can't swim in it. And you're like, you almost fall under, and you're trying to like suddenly gasp for air, and then you're not, and then you're in the air and you're floating, and you see that same visage sort of circle around you. I see you. I hope that you will join me soon. You see this huge, gnarly hand come out and uncurl from the shadow and grip around you, and she eats you, and you wake up in a cold sweat.
Ew. Is that Breaker? Is that what that is? Like,
that's not Breaker.
What is that? Just something?
Something.
Okay.
So you actually don't sleep at all that night. No. Mechanically, it doesn't affect you, but narratively, you don't sleep awake.
Mechanically, when we sleep, what happens with our stress if we have a trauma?
Your stress resets to 0 when you have a trauma, when you're done with a mission.
Yeah, because you have full trauma.
Yeah, you just have to keep the trauma. And you have to make sure to mark underneath the trauma what your trauma is, and if you use the trauma in roleplay, you get an experience.
But our stress stays the same if we didn't.
That is correct. If you did not trauma out, your stress remains.
Gotcha. Until we get back to camp. And rest and recuperate.
Yeah.
Can I, when I wake up in the morning,
Who you? Obsidian or Special K?
Special K,
Sure.
can I be informed of the whole idea of the alchemist blood? And I would like to take a sample of it back to camp with me.
The
kid's blood.
Yeah, so you start to kind of infer about this alchemist history. You know a little bit about it already. It's alchemy is sort of a pseudo magic science in this world. It allows for the they just have a high inclination to creating, to making and crafting and producing. They're like the Edison of their time, essentially. They're creating things that people would never even think of, especially like things that have to deal with the chosen and making reliquaries and things of that nature. They divulge their specific family kind of has a lineage of alchemist blood inside of them. Those who have given themselves and all their future offspring to the holiness of the crafter. But when the crafter was turned over to the Cinder King through Render, the entire bloodline was corrupted. So slowly over time, as they use their alchemy prowess, they slowly corrupt into working for the Cinder King. But they're still a boon to the Legion if you can ever get one. In fact, as you go to reach for him, the parents kind of like pull him away from you, and he pulls away from his parents, and he offers his arm to you and says, you've already suffered so much for rescuing me. This is the least I can do.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna. Sorry,
She's-
that's very good role playing.
Snatch it up.
Would I know anything more about the symbols on him? Would they have like taken effect, basically?
No, it looks like the Shadow was just trying to do something far more advanced than whatever the Hex are. The Hex only need like a single sigil to be turned. It's like a very simple spell for the Shadow Witches and for Breaker.
Okay.
But whatever she was trying to do, it's hard to say. That sort of magic has been lost to Breaker's knowledge.
Based on what the kid had also been saying, was this idea of like she was trying to beat the hag. This idea,
Mhm.
like, you know,
That the Shadow Witch that captured, yeah, it
like
was
she was trying to be better than the person that was in charge of her, or like the idea that like she wanted to grow stronger.
the way he explains it, it doesn't seem like the hag was specifically in charge of it. So again, like the hierarchy of works the same as the Legion as it does for the Cinder King. Cinder King rules all. Then the Chosen rule over there like 3 lieutenants. Their 3 lieutenants operate like 3 infamous, and their 3 infamous operate like a bunch of elites. The elites operate a bunch of rank and files. Like that's how it breaks down.
Yeah.
But they're never in like any command of a specific unit at a time. They just kind of like take an area and have their own ingenious strategies. But it didn't sound like the Shadow Witch was working for this hag. It just seemed
So this
like
hag is some
it was-
other.
and the Shadow Witch seemed scared as she talked about it.
And can we be under the assumption that that other thing that showed up was not part of it? So like the group that we faced, that Shadow Witch was leading,
Mm-hmm.
this thing that we saw was something outside of their rank of
Yeah,
command.
yeah.
Probably from a different
Yeah.
down the line.
Based on how she talked about it, could have been a lieutenant, which is a threat for enemy.
And probably of a different
Yeah.
group, because
Yeah.
they're from Breaker. The Shadow Witch and all of them were Breaker, right?
And the hag is from Breaker as well. You've heard of the hag in like whispers and tales, but no one's seen the hag.
And it's referred to as the hag. It's
Yeah.
not like there's a hag.
No,
like
it's the hag.
so that's who it is.
As you all start to get your things together and head back to camp, the boy kind of stops you out and has a horse with him. Okay. I'd like to come with you. I don't want this to happen to anyone else of our line, and I'm already probably halfway turned as it is, so I don't want to put any burden on my parents. I'd like to join the Legion.
How old is this boy?
Like 16.
Okay. Oh, yeah, so a teen. I've been carrying a 16-year-old?
Yeah. Hey, I assume you all do fireman carry drills every day.
You got a hook under. You got a hook under.
Yeah, that's where
We're
the
not like
someone's kicking
squats.
Yeah.
somebody will keep you.
So and everyone that was inoperable is now up, right?
They're
Yeah.
This is like free
for
play.
free play narratively-ish. They're put enough together that they can ride their own horse and head back
Gotcha.
to camp. But when they get there, they are taking a nap.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, all Black Flood does when the kid says he wants to join is he just looks at the commanding officers.
Yeah. Special K. Shake him. His hand and say, I think we can. Forgot my voice again for Special K. Damn it.
British.
It's you do a voice and it always makes me forget mine, Tyler.
He just kind of reaches out for your hand. It's a
I
shame.
think that we could use you. Welcome to the Legion.
Is he,
Pleasure to be aboard.
is he like an alchemist? Is that like the Mercy having an alchemist?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, 'cause we don't have any open spots for rookies.
he
Such a corrupted one.
has like this short. Now he's more cleaned up and not like caked with dry blood. He has like this very short, almost spiky sort of black hair. Has like a scruff around. It's me. It's I'm the alchemist. But has like scruff around his chin and mustache, and has a little bit of like spaghetti hair, loose like brown linen shirt, brown cat, like very simple clothing. Kind of a scrawny build.
What's your name?
My name is Yusa. It's your alchemist now.
Ted.
Ted the alchemist. You decide, quartermaster.
Yeah, Archie. Yeah, you're in charge of Mercies and
Yeah.
There's like
Good
name
set.
recommendation. Okay. it's Ted.
Kismet.
Theodore.
Theodore.
Yeah.
So you all travel back towards the southern portion of Plainsworth, meet up with the rest of the Legion. And before we get into it, well, actually no. So you arrive, and the other squads kind of see you worse for wear. What you picked visions, right?
Yeah.
So blight. You also have some sort of like rashing around your body somewhere that is hideable if you want.
But it's not like rot or
no. Yeah, it's not thing
mutation.
Like yeah.
Okay.
Let me.
Does it have to be, or does it just?
Let me look here. Okay. Level 1 blight is visible but concealable with long sleeves or a button-up coat. This blight is painful but can be ignored, similar to an exceptionally bad rash. In addition to whatever sort of like psychological or actual physical effect it's having on your body.
Alright. Cool.
So did you show anyone? Because no one around you would automatically assume. Like, everyone's been feeling some sort of, like, sickness, but no one's had any... You're the only one that's blighted, so no one else has any, like, physical development from what's happened, so they're not assuming... I'm not trying to speak for your characters, but I'm not assuming anyone's, like, checking him out, because you don't have it, right? Like,
Yeah.
if I don't have it, no one else has it.
Her. And also...
Her, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. And there's no way to get rid of blight.
There is no way to get rid of blight.
Yeah. I don't know, I think she's new to this concept and is, like, waiting to see if there's anyone else. I think she's keeping
Wouldn't even tell her sister.
I think that's like a thing that would, like, when they had time alone, she would be like, and she would show, and she would talk about her dream to you, because aren't you wanting to become a medic?
Mm-hmm.
So she would ask you if there's anything you could do, or anything that you know. She doesn't want to talk to anyone else about it.
I don't want to speak for what you think the Legion is, but blight is a serious deal, because the longer blight goes on and the more corrupted you become, you either have to take care of that person or they join the Cinder King. They will leave camp and join the Cinder King. Once they hit that blight 3 and 4, it's a high risk situation.
Because 3 means if they're around high level ones, they can turn them.
Yeah, they have like the potential to be like, they can like hear commands and start to like turn in mid mission against people. So.
Well,
So
we don't know, but you know, sister. The sister knows.
We'll see
how
that
I'm just saying, think about how your Legion might react to learning that you, like, even about a level 1 light corruption. Okay?
Yep.
Definitely.
And it's probably appropriate for you to hide it because you don't know who's going to react in a poor way. Like, I would think someone like the squad, like the Shattered Pride, the older folks who've seen people turn, like, they'd probably not look kindly or merciful. In fact, killing you might be their mercy.
They're not into baggy pants, sagging, or corruption.
But they are rookies.
Yeah, but they are.
They got demoted because they thought they were too old.
So you get back to camp, you have this conversation, and now let's see how the second group did.
Oh god, I forgot all about that.
So, we gave them everything we could.
I do
We
remember.
sent them out with so much.
Who was it? The Ember Wolves?
It was. We didn't decide.
Yeah, you didn't
we
decide.
Didn't
we
who
didn't
was
decide.
it.
Yeah. So who is going on? So Shimia has to go because it's an assault mission. It requires a heavy.
Okay.
You need a second specialist, which is your only other one. That'd be
Double I.
Captain Shackleton.
So he was in charge of this mission.
Yep.
And then which squad is going?
I don't want to send out the Emeralds because I don't trust those 2 people yet.
Well, no, yeah, we didn't want to send out the Ember Wolves because we would have also lost. Don't we lose?
Yeah, you get a minus die because
Yeah.
you're not loyal.
So we're sending out.
You have
The Star Vipers.
Star Vipers.
Well, we can send out whoever.
Yeah,
It's an
you have
assault
4 other
mission.
options.
Let's
Send
send out the Shattered Lion.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wanted to smack them.
Yeah.
What? I'm just excited for whatever you chose.
So, time to build your pool, and there is actually no sheer luck die. That's only in Blades in the Dark and Scum and Villain.
So we were wrong about that earlier?
Yeah, but it's fine. It's my fault. So, Legion loyalty. Are all in the mission oath sworn to the Legion?
Yeah, Shattered Lions, they're super sword.
It's super swole.
Yeah.
Intel. Did the commander spend intel to give you advanced information?
Yes, he did.
So that's another die.
Okay.
Is everyone on the mission a specialist or a soldier?
No.
Okay.
They
No.
were at one time.
Does any Legionnaire distrust or not respect the leadership enough to obey orders? And, like, does anyone have an issue with Captain Shackleton?
Not to my knowledge.
I don't know. I mean, because like,
Did the Star Vipers go with you on that
They come-
recon mission?
Yes.
The one with
yes.
fine lines? Yeah, I don't think they had an
But-
issue with
We
Captain
didn't.
Shackleton.
But we're taking the Lions.
We're taking the Shattered Lions.
Oh, you're taking the
Yeah.
share. Oh,
But I feel like Shackleton's old and like
Yeah.
like sour enough.
maybe
like
he was a Shattered Lion.
Yeah, well, because he's like probably middle aged, but I just think he's so sour that they're like, oh, he's cool.
He gets it.
I
He's
think they
such a-
complain about him over coffee, but then
Yeah.
anytime that they're like actually asked about him, they're like, love that guy.
Yeah,
Makes
he's,
it a table.
he's such a humorless mustache that they're like, yeah,
Really?
Nice mustache.
So no minus die there. Parameters are required specialist or equipment not on the mission.
We've got it.
Yeah, you got it. Assault mission. Weapons of the quartermaster equip the legionnaires with black shot.
Yes.
Okay. And then wounds is any legionnaire starting the mission wounded. So you have to check Captain Shackleton and
Yeah.
Shimmy and see if they have wounds.
Shimmy, I think, is wounded. I do think
I
that.
feel like Shackleton's got at least a level 1 harm.
Shimia has some level 2 harm.
So at least one person's wounded. So a minus die.
Bummer.
All right, so just to reread the secondary mission outcomes. Critical, you roll multiple 6s, you succeed at the mission and promote one squad member, either a rookie or a soldier, to specialist or soldier. 6, you succeed at the mission, all specialists take level 1 harm, and you may choose to lose 2 squad members and promote a rookie to a soldier. Note these squad members count for morale loss. 4, 5, choose. Either fail the mission and all troops return unharmed, or you can succeed and 2 squad members die and all specialists take a level 2 harm. And then 1 to 3, you fail the mission. You lose 3 squad members and all specialists take a level 3 harm.
Okay, I've got a dice pool of 2.
Do it up!
Yeah!
Yeah!
See how it goes.
This was what I was actually the most stressed about, was getting to this point today.
2 5s.
2 5.
Okay, great. Woo, woo, 4, 5. So you choose. You can either fail the mission and all troops return unharmed, or you can succeed and 2 squad members die and all specialists take level 2 harm. The rewards for this mission was a favor and 3 morale, I believe.
And glory.
Yeah, the favor is glory.
Oh, okay.
And then what's the thing?
The penalty was time? I think you still have the sheet.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull it up for you.
Who's on this mission?
The Shattered Lions. We haven't
and
created them
Shimya
yet.
Yeah.
and Shackleton.
Shackleton.
So we would lose no one we know.
We would lose
Right,
no
just
one.
2 randos. We make
But
now.
we'll fill
Well,
it
we're
out.
probably going to be doing healing for our downtime stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Shimya
that
has
level
2
2
level
may not
2
be
harm.
But because of our
No.
thing, she can take a third, because all our specialists can take 3 level 2 harms now.
Well, that's good.
Bone Thug, Bone Crow. This was called Rabid and Wild. Yeah, we would lose time and death, like
Yeah.
you mentioned.
And Captain Shackleton has no harm. So I say, I don't know any Shattered Lions. Let's kill them. That's my
Hey, they wanted to go down fighting.
Yeah. So you
You
lose
did.
2 Shattered Lions, so you have an incomplete squad.
complete squad. Okay.
Sorry, Anna.
And then your specialists take level 2 harms. But
Shimya already has 2 level 2 harms.
they can take 3 because of Zora's special ability.
So she's gonna take what does that look like on the page?
You only take 1 level 2 harm. If you just wrote on Captain Shackleton.
did.
Yeah, just 1.
Oh, so each one takes 1 level
Yes.
2 harm.
Yes, that is correct.
So Shimya can take 3 level 2 harms.
Yeah, all specialists can
So
take
she's
level
cool.
3. Yeah.
And then we're gonna heal 2 ticks, hopefully. And
Okay.
she's gonna be good to go next mission. Fully healed.
Do my level... What's my special ability?
You just operate as though it's 1 harm lower. So your level 2s debuff you like level 1s.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Cool. So we succeed!
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. So the
We need that morale. to
and that means Eater is dead.
Eater the
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Groovy.
So
Yeah, that's crazy.
so
Hey, we killed Eater, everybody!
Yeah.
Congratulations!
It
You
was
have
that
to
thing.
read that
Um,
chapter of the book.
Bon
so-
Appetit's going to be really happy.
Shimya and Captain Shackleton kind of come in with 3 remaining like grizzled individuals.
They got
They
eaten.
explained to you that they arrived in town like built to the teeth, and it was still a fight for their lives. It turned from being multiple buildings to feeling like they were being hunted in a jungle. It was like a bunch of rabid wolves, and Eater was brilliantly intelligent, setting up traps here and there and confusing them with voices and hallucinations, and it was a bad time. They barely escaped with the skin of their teeth, but they did it, and Zora is impressed. Zora is very happy that an infamous is now taken out. And it also adds to your end of mission score, because for every infamous alive at the end of the game gives you minus points.
Take those suckers out.
Did they say like what the kill blow to Eater was? Like, was it a sword?
Oh, I'd love to hear
Was
that
it a
story.
gunshot? Was it a...
Well, why don't you tell us, Shimmy and Captain Shackleton?
Or
So-
the Lord Keeper could tell us next week.
That's true.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
Yeah, you
so-
can tell the story.
Yeah, so just so we know, we have to name these 2 shattered lions
Mm-hmm.
that we've killed,
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Easy.
so that I can write their names down.
Mhm.
And then at that point, 5 people will have died, and I have to tell a new story every time 4 people die. So that'll be a new story from the Lore Keeper.
Yep.
But so
I mean, I would love to hear narratively how Eater perished.
Yeah, tell us.
It's up to you, man.
Alright, so
You were there. So
You don't have to do it right now.
I could either do it or you could do it. It's up to you. But I think I'd like to hear you two make something up. It can go exactly the way you envision it.
what kind of weapon does Shimmy use?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I don't have the sheet.
Oh, I have the sheet.
It's
I
like
think it was
a
an axe.
yeah, it's like an axe and a shield.
Shimmy,
Yeah.
well, you didn't write anything. Here.
Okay.
Either way.
Either way, she didn't write anything.
So
It's
you
up to
probably
you. It's
have
a heavy
marked
weapon.
this. Yeah, a heavy weapon is anything that's two-handed.
Fine, heavy weapon.
An axe, a great sword,
I have a great axe.
great axe.
It's a great axe.
Look at that axe.
Such a nice axe.
And is Eater just like a humanoid with
So
scarring?
the hounds are these undead creatures, humans that have been turned dog, and their eyes are sewn shut, their teeth are sharp and jagged, and they wear these metal collars and chains around their necks, basically naked and like atrophied but wildly fast. Very like basically an animal. But Eater is a much larger, pale version of them with they can speak in like other people's voices. So like during the encounter you heard Indigo's voice. You heard some of the other rookies. He kind of like, and like at one point, one of the shattered lions went down, and he started imitating that lion immediately, and that's what was messing you up in the middle of the mission. Was that like you were giving commands to this guy, you broke off in a unit, and like you heard his voice, you went into a house and got ambushed, and that's how you got your scars. So from there, that's your prompt.
I would like to come up from behind Eater and do something that would knock him down. So an axe in the back.
Probably like a heavy slam, like pins into the ground for a second.
Then I say, "Hey, Eater, eat shit."
That's good.
And kind of like smash on the floor, but not quite dead. What happens next?
I think like Captain Shackleton was trying to keep track of the remaining shattered lions, and then he heard "Hey Eater, eat shit," and he knew immediately that was Shimya, and so I think that lowered him to the ground, and then just like execution style, shot to the temple.
Sure.
3 of those.
Absolutely, and
All the black shot.
there's a little like squirming coming from him. He tries to like wrestle from the axe and like starts to slow and timber and snarl, and then fall limp to the floor. And you probably clean up the remaining hounds that are in the town and then head on back. You do not find anyone alive. The
And
town was decimated.
after the telling of that story, Captain Shackleton does one of these and says, "And that, my little ducklings, is how you kill a dead man." And he just leaves and goes to his tent to smoke a cigar.
So, all specialists get 2 XP for completing the mission for the secondary. So Captain Shackleton and Shimmy get 2 experience.
Didn't
Oh,
even
Rudra.
do anything.
Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you, Olivia.
2 XP. And is that specifically for special ability pie or
Yeah, special.
Okay.
You can put it wherever. These 2 experience you can put wherever you want.
Gotcha.
Baked up some special ability.
For those of you who went on the primary mission, you get an experience for coming back alive,
Yes.
which can be applied. These can be applied anywhere. You get 2 experience for killing a threat to enemy.
Did anybody do that?
Everybody did it. Like
Oh, okay.
the Shadow Witch was a threat to enemy.
I'm sorry, I wasn't. Could you
so
restart the played mission?
yeah. So
experience?
for the
Sorry.
primary people,
Mhm.
you get 1 experience for coming back alive.
Okay.
You get 2 experience for killing the Shadow Witch, so that's 3 total. You get another experience if you use your heritage trait or trauma to like role play or anything like that.
So as a Barton educated, meaning having the ability to research, I would looking for information about the map. Playing into
Yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely.
What about my Panyar Traveler fast quiet with a normal
Yes.
load? Oh,
Used it the whole time.
Wait, you said that we can apply these anywhere, right?
Yeah, you can apply these anywhere.
Are we still limited to keeping things at 2, or can
No,
they
you
go
can, they can go to 3. Unless you take a special ability that lets you get to 4. And then whatever your playbook specific ability is. So for rookies, that's coming back alive, so you get an additional experience just for not dying. And then for scout, it's if you use anything sneaky based. And for medic, it's if you doctored anyone, which you did.
I did.
And we can put that into the special ability pie?
Yeah, you can put that into any pie you want.
So my special ability pie is full. Does that mean I get a new special ability?
That is correct.
Hot damn.
Is that filled up twice now?
Let's just fill up once.
Oh, I was like, did you already pick what your next one is?
When you
Oh
do-
no, yeah, you start with 2.
Yeah, you start with 2 when
okay,
you're a medic. Attaché and then whatever the other is.
You helped your squad by staying out of the way of surviving despite the odds.
That's correct.
Does that count as well?
Yeah.
That's 6.
What is an alchemical bandolier?
I have no idea. I couldn't find it.
Okay, no, because one of the special abilities is chemist. You have training in orate alchemical medicine. You may equip an alchemical bandolier at each mission.
Oh.
Yeah.
Medic. Which ability is chemist you said?
Chemist.
See page 76. Hey, there it is. Where's 76? 76. Oh, so it's all the things at the top of the, like where you see alcite oil, chem bomb, deep, and rage venom. Now you can use
Hell
those.
yeah. Hold on,
Does it
Rage venom.
does it tell you what they do on that
Yeah.
sheet? Okay.
Owlsite oil, see in the dark for 24 hours, light sensitive. Chem balm neutralizes poisons and toxins. Deep lets you hold your breath for a scene. Rage venom, gain physical potency. For a scene, you must make a resolve to avoid. It's also addictive. Rage venom is addictive. That's so cool.
Put it in the dumps.
And I think that might be fun because the trauma I took was obsessed.
Oh, I heard.
What are you obsessed with?
Maybe a rage venom.
Maybe yeah.
Special K has been hitting the rage venom.
Maybe it's like all the you like want to. Ooh, maybe it's like you want to delve deeper into like the Shadow Witch stuff and the alchemy things.
Yeah.
And yeah. The rage venom is like a Shadow Witch technique, and you're like, yes.
Yeah, what was going on when you were passed out? That's fun to explore.
You must make resolve to resist to avoid attacking friend or foe.
You can get and you can give those. You don't have to use it yourself. You
Yeah,
can give
yeah,
those
yeah.
to people.
I know I have 2 more points.
And then for the 2 specialists who are on the secondary mission, you just get 2 experience. You can put anywhere.
Gotcha. What does aim do?
Aim is for snipers.
Okay, so I can't.
You can't do that until you're a sniper.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So as an officer, like, will I ever be able to do that, or is that just?
There should be a special ability that allows you to take things from other.
It's other special abilities from other playbooks.
Oh,
Not
not other.
yeah. So if you want a multi-class. And let me know when you're all bookkeeped up. And then we'll move into the campaign phase and finish out.
So what are we going to name the 2 shattered lions who died? I want to name one of them Rose.
Done. Boom. That was yours. Your shattered lion is dead. Who would like to sacrifice their other shattered lion?
I just have a name that I thought of.
Give it.
Kismet.
Kismet.
Surname?
Brown.
Brown. Kismet Brown. Aldermani.
And Rose Jackson.
I was gonna make
Bad.
Rose a Panyar, and just be Rose the color.
No, it's,
Oh, cool.
she's a human.
Aw.
That's beautiful.
She's an old lady. And you guys killed her.
No, I don't want this to be painless, even when it's characters we've made up on the fly.
Yeah.
A little lady named Rose Jackson.
All right. Well then, if everyone is done bookkeeping, yes.
So yeah, just
Can
put
I
six with
steal
special
your
ability.
pencil
Okay.
for a second?
All right. So then we move into the campaign phase. So first,
Yeah.
time ticks
Yeah.
up 1, and then I think that's it for you.
Did we get any intel? Do we have to keep track of that too? Or is that later? Like just tick one time in the time meter?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
And then, what were the mission rewards for the first mission? The asset was the alchemist. You got the alchemist as an
cool.
asset,
Uh,
and he already has 3 ticks marked.
in
Corruption.
ooh, oh yeah, because Alchemist is corrupt. Yeah. Plus 3 intel.
So you get +3 intel, but you don't get the narrative of what they're attached to
Okay. Just no.
because you didn't find them.
Didn't have to do with that thing we saw, or
Part of one of the intels was that the hag exists, but there were other things in places.
I don't like that.
Just so you know,
such a completionist.
all the rewards always have some like narrative abstraction attached to them. So like morale is like kill this many, like you feel the huzzah of killing this many enemies or rescuing these people. Intel's finding schematics, finding information, or getting information from someone. So that's how those kind of like tie in together. They all have some sort of like narrative abstraction in the story that you could find.
Cool.
So while they help you mechanically, they don't necessarily help you narratively because you didn't find them. It's like the treasure,
Yeah.
the loot. So that is that. And then where's my campaign phase things? Campaign phase. Use your stress. Channel. Right. Woulda. Got it. Shoulda. Woulda. Coulda. Got it. So time passes. Quartermaster campaign actions. 2 people died, so your morale goes down by. No, it stays at 10 because you gain 3 in the
Secondary mission.
second.
We're
So
so
never mind.
strong.
You're so perky.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Morale
is nothing.
never. Yeah, it's all the assault.
Take a
missions.
penny, leave a penny, right?
Oh my god!
Jesus.
So,
That's how I'm thinking. That's how the marshal thinks. You know.
Kinda.
Oh, we got a kid. We only lost 2 old men
Oh,
and an old
jeez.
lady. All right.
How you feeling? Good?
Good.
So you get
Yeah,
2
right.
campaign actions, and the spy master also participates in this step as well.
Plans.
And we're located
Sneaky
in a
plan.
decent town.
Yeah,
now,
the asset rating is 2.
which is pretty good, right?
It means that you roll 2 dice.
Oh, great. So we don't have any supply. We should try to get some supply.
What can we do there?
Is that?
Supply is
Acquiring
not an
assets?
asset
Oh.
that you can acquire. It must be a mission that you undergo.
Oh, okay. So
That's
we
what
can
we're
only
looking to.
okay. We can only spend supply if we're looking to advance something, or
No, the supply lets you do either extra campaign actions or boost campaign actions.
okay.
Some like long-term project and acquire assets can be done multiple times, but things like heal and recuperation liberty can only be done once but boosted.
What would religious supplies do?
Reduce corruption.
Maybe we should invest in some religious supplies.
Okay.
Are there churches around?
Absolutely. There's
Cool.
the Barton Church around here that's to Asrika, the healing Barton goddess.
All right, I'm gonna go there.
Okay, so you want to use the acquire assets. Who do you want to send
Yeah.
to get these assets? narratively.
Who's a religious type around these parts?
Well, if there's any Bartons.
I don't think it's gonna be me, honestly.
I know that the rookie, Ria Pakshi, is, her father was...
That's true. We could send the sisters.
Goop is a Barton.
This will be the first time you'll inter-squad mingle.
He would be their escort from the Ember Wolves.
The dish is also.
You don't have to send like a squad, but
Right.
someone has to go pick it
I
up.
have not rolled a single Barton this
Next one.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Goop's a Barton. He is. He's got 2 in consort, which is good because that means he'll be able to talk.
It's the roll only comes from the asset rating. It's just narratively who are you sending to talk to these people and pick it up.
And does it matter if we beg, borrow, or steal, or is that just a narrative thing?
Just a narrative thing.
Wait, is this an acquire assets roll that you have to do?
Mm-hmm.
So, whoever you pick to go on this, there's also a just fancily dressed woman that's coming along. Antoinette is coming along. And
Va, 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 voom.
Alright. I mean,
Daniel DeVito is also a...
Yes!
Daniel!
we're sending the biggest group to do
I'm
this.
just saying.
You send some people
If we're trying
to
to get
go
all
pick
their
up this
Bartons.
Right.
stuff. Yes.
I send some people, and they're just gonna talk
Bunch of
to
Bartons.
the priest or
Sure.
whoever's there, and pray with them, and describe the horrible things that you saw. Probably Kita and Rhea. And basically beg
He's upset with
for
Daniel, but
Okay.
some things.
well, some of them beg, and then
Are
Antoinette.
they all going?
And then Antoinette is like, I don't beg. Just like and she explains to the priest that just like his constituency tithe, anyone that is being helped by the Legion should also tithe. And the Legion's helping everyone. Because she blackmails.
Damn. Okay.
And the
Dope.
Goop is just
what does
there.
that do?
It gives her an extra dice when rolling.
Oh. Alright, so it's an asset rating of 3 then. Or technically, like...
It's still 2.
But it's like...
Unless you have a mechanic that says otherwise.
It says plus 1d to acquire assets.
Oh, great. Those are 3. Yep. So 4. So you acquire regular. So you reach this marble cast chapel. It's pretty humble in size, but the materials that it's made from are quite exquisite.
Wow.
And you see these like double like white wood, like a very shiny white wood open up as you start to approach the church, and 2 acolytes in red, like mercies in red and white attire, simple ceremonial garb, open the door and usher you inside, and you see this older gentleman, bald, kind of liver spots, start to approach you. Welcome to the church of Asarika. It's a pleasure to have you here. How may I be of assistance to the Legion? Is that correct?
You got it right.
We need some help. There have been some dark forces working against us, and we lost some people, and anything you could give us would be really helpful.
And he sees the number of Bartons amongst you. I see you've brought quite the entourage with you.
Yeah.
We were hoping you'd be welcoming.
I
We
am.
have missed home very much. That was Daniel
Daniel.
DeVito.
Oh, I thought that was Goop, and I was like, Goop, no!
No, that was Daniel.
Oh god.
I know many in Plainsworth don't care for you and what you do for this country. But those of us of the faith, those of us who still believe that those chosen can be saved, we want to do whatever we can to assist you. And he heads back to this podium, and he takes the book off and presses his hand, and you see like an indentation form inside the top of the pedestal. It slides back.
Ooh. Some culty stuff.
And he ushers you down the stairs. Probably like 2 or 3 of you. The rest of you have to stay up top. But whoever goes down, you go into like the sconce lit hallway that leads maybe 50 foot down a slant stairwell. And you come into this sort of antechamber that goes off into some rooms you can see that are also lit. It's only like a 4-room, doesn't go much of anywhere. But sitting on these back shelves, you can see these kind of cerulean glowing jars that have body parts in them, like dried petrified parts. And he pulls a couple of them off the shelf and puts them into a crate and hands them over to you, and the glow kind of lights up all your faces as it gets closer to the floor. You see like eyeballs and like 3 or 4 fingers in there, and what looks like just a chunk of flesh inside one of them, and hands them over to you. These were of one of the previous healing goddesses chosen. We hope that these will help restore the balance in the country. And he hands them over to you. You get fine reliquaries, which are better than regular reliquaries.
So, do I mark religious supplies?
Yes, you'll mark religious supplies and put fine underneath them. These reduce corruption by 2, and they also add a plus D of resistance too when you resist corruption, which is like,
so you can use them in
missions if you use a use on the sheet.
Gotcha.
Everyone, it's like Blackshot. Everyone will get religious supplies and then can pick their utility items. All right. And what's the second campaign action going to be?
Side note, the reliquaries I had are fine reliquaries. I used them twice in that. Does that mean I should have 2 less corruption than I do?
Yes.
Yeah, permission there. Oh, I'm so fine.
Yeah, if they're fine, it should be 2.
Man, I wish I
That's so huge. He was so close.
Shit.
He was so close.
Liberty. Liberty is the other thing I want to do. So
Increase Legion morale by 2 and heal everyone's stress by 1.
yeah. Well, I thought it said every character clears up to 3 stress.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 3 stress. I thought it was 1.
Well, are we more stressed out than we're hurt?
The thing is
Everyone's
everyone is stressed, but our specialists, like Shimya's hurt, and we can't go on an assault mission without her.
That's true. Him.
Sorry.
I think healing Shimya and Shackleton.
Okay, then rest and recuperation.
Well, remember that their harms aren't level. Well, you do have multiple squads. It's most important to take care of the specialists, I guess.
Exactly
Yeah,
what I'm worried about.
We don't have like any specialists. I mean, that's not true, but
I mean, you have a special sheet right now.
important melee ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this would make Shimya, he would be fully ready to go then.
Yeah.
Because he
Alright.
has 2.
Let's
Has 3. Shimya has 3 level 2 harm.
But they'll all clear.
But they'll all clear.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then, so that way we could send either of them to lead, and also it would help you 2 out, and we could maybe next time, if we're worried about stress, if we run the mission with you guys, because you guys have like no stress.
Yeah, so you can take the primary with them instead
Yeah,
of the secondary.
That's true.
So we're gonna do
New Legion
rest
group.
and recuperate again?
What is that? How much harm is that?
1 tick box. You can put it wherever you want. And that's the marshal's job to place those things.
Okay.
So you'll hand all your character sheets back to the marshal.
Okay.
I guess. Well, does my mercy have any? No, wounded.
But
How
now
do I heal?
it'll be after this campaign phase. They'll be healed. So you can erase that now. You just can't use her now.
Him.
And Poe, that's right. And that is it for campaign action. Spy Master, do you have anything that you want to do?
Yeah. First of all, just so you know, you got your girl helping you out again.
Nice.
Egrid is still out there interrogating for you. But yeah, what's his name? Bortus is still out on his long-term project, so he's gonna roll for that.
Okay. Is Antoinette helping him?
No, she helped. Them.
Oh, okay. It was an action like that.
Yeah. So he's gonna roll. That's a 6 and a 5.
So 3 ticks.
He's getting there.
Nice.
Getting close to having our special missions
Chosen.
pickable.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, boy. So if she's using intel, are there any questions you want to ask?
And she gives you 2 additional questions.
2 additional questions.
Yeah.
And I can ask, since I'm holding 3 current intel, I can ask one from each of these.
Well, her interrogation lets you ask any question regardless of how many intel you're holding.
So I can ask one from each of these plus 2 of any.
Yes.
So I have a lot of questions to ask. Wait, what is a specific broken researching?
Which broken do you want to know about?
Who did we just come in contact with forces with? In the Black
Kind of both. Eater was a part of Render's forces, and Breaker, or the Shadow Witches, are a part of Breaker's forces. So it's up to you.
Breaker.
Breaker is. So after some time, I think that you send SPG. We'll say narratively sends SPG and who's helping Ingrid, right? Ingrid knows Aldermark the best out of all the spies.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of ask around town. They spend maybe like these next couple days and this time passing to look around for what Breaker's doing or see what any of the Shadow Witches are doing. They head a little bit back towards the Western Front, and they attacked a place called the Chapel of the Water. And they took pieces, like keystone pieces of the architecture from the temple that were brought over by the Asrika Chosen at the time. And you're not sure, you're not able to quite find out what the specific ritual is, but it seems to be like related to other Chosen.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the most that they can find out.
Okay. Second level 3 question that I'm asking with her help is there any lieutenants we've come in? Would the Hag be considered a lieutenant?
I'm sorry?
Would the Hag be considered
Yes.
a lieutenant?
Yeah.
What is a weakness of a lieutenant we previously encountered? The Hag.
The Hag will say that you maybe capture a Shadow Witch somehow. Okay? And you sort of interrogate her to the best of your ability. It's hard. It's always hard to get, like, the elites have better intelligence than the rank and file, so there's something you can speak to. But you bring up the Hag, and the Shadow Witch kind of cowers a little bit, and the Hag eats other Shadow Witches. So how Shadow Witches are created is that Breaker takes people and puts pieces of herself into them. Like she surgically implants them with pieces of her and changes them. What the Hag is doing is searching for as many Shadow Witches to be, or even rival the power, or become stronger than Breaker.
Like
So that she
wants
eats,
to become as strong as the Chosen.
Yeah, and is eating Shadow Witches to do it.
Okay.
A weakness of hers is that that's her goal, so it's something that she possibly could be tempted by, like for a trap.
Okay. So,
and then that Shadow Witch either gets away, kills herself, or you kill her.
And then my last question of level 3 is, what news of the Cinder King?
The Cinder King is, the main force is starting to come over the Taijiri River and reach into the Western Front. Which means Render and Breaker can't be too far behind. They're probably coming close to Plainsworth at this point.
Is there any... Which way are the broken moving?
So if these are you have to spend your intel to ask these questions, just so you know.
It says no, because I used the 2 of hers on 3. It says if I'm holding 3, I can also ask one of these questions. So I can ask down each level as well. Okay. So this is a level 2 one now.
Okay.
So which way are the broken moving? Or like if we were to know about their movements, is there a particular?
Right now, Render and Breaker are kind of moving in tandem, but it looks like as they get closer to Plainsworth, Breaker is heading north, while Render is heading to the east.
So like straight east, like
he has to come around the mountains like everyone else, so he's not going like directly for Westlake. He has to come around Plainsworth and then he'll start heading east, but he's hooking closer to the Sunspire Mountains, whereas Breaker is heading towards the Durish Forest. Along the long road.
Gotcha. So they're both going to kind of
Yeah.
The middle of round. Okay, cool. That's helpful. Deciding which way to go next. What might be a weakness of an elite we have encountered?
Elites are the threat twos. Well, not necessarily weakness. You do research the whatever was happening with the Shadow Witches. In fact, we'll use that same scenario of the one you tried to capture. As long as there is a burn within probably 30 feet of the Shadow Witch, they can transfer their essence into a burn and start to regrow themselves.
Cool. So killing them in isolation.
Yeah.
And then our last question: what's the highest threat we can expect? Moving towards the Black Forest again.
Like heading north?
Yeah. So that's a level 0 intel question.
The hag currently, but as a part of that, what is a broken researching question? Breaker has been like sourcing a bunch of animals, like that from the crocodiles that you had all dispatched. All their carcasses are missing, and that's about the most you can know.
All right, those are all the questions I can.
Did that answer your last question? A weakness of, or what is a? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's the highest threat we can expect?
The highest threat you can. Yeah, the hag is the current highest threat you can expect.
Those are my questions.
All right. So that is the intel questions of the spy master and quartermaster are done. Lore master, do you want to tell your story now, or do you want to wait till next time?
How are you guys for time?
It is like 8:05. Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. Cool. Okay. So we have a story next time of the Legion's founding.
A good one.
A good one.
None of those bad stories.
And then
raise morale.
Are you advancing here?
No.
Okay, so you're staying in Plainsworth for the next time being, and then I don't think I have anything for you except when we come to the mission phase.
We don't lose any morale or anything.
Nope.
So.
Yeah, so that is everything for the campaign phase. We have a story for next time, then we dive into mission selection. And yeah, join us next Friday for the continuation of our Shattered Glory campaign. I hope you weren't too wigged out by the hag, and we'll see what unfolds next time. Have a good day or weekend, and see you next time.
Rock and roll!
See ya.
Bye!
Hey everyone, it's Grace. Thank you so much for checking out this week's episode. If you had fun like we did, please let us know by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Also tap the notification bell to be updated on new videos as soon as they come out. If you want to support us, you can head on over to our Patreon page, where you can see our current goals for the shows we produce, and every dollar helps us produce better content more often. Have a great day, and remember, you can forge your own path. See you next time.